ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream.
With your boy, J Mac Main.
J Mac Mizzle, what is going down in Chinatown? What is up? So we have some things to discuss, two things to discuss. We have some news and rumors to talk about, some interesting topics. We also have the match card predictions as far as what do you guys think, or as far as what to expect out of TLC today. And then also, I think the other thing to talk about was there was a top 10 list of matches for 2020 where someone actually graded the top 10 matches of 2020 in wrestling altogether. So not just WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, all across the board. So without further ado, let's get into some news and rumors. So Randy Orton versus the Fiend in a Firefly Inferno match announced for WWE TLC. I think this one is interesting. So they announced that Randy Orton and the Fiend will have an Inferno match. This will be, I believe, the second Inferno match that they had in WWE, right?
Yeah.
Sean Keys has joined us. What's up, Sean Keys? Thank you for joining us. Can't wait to have you on. Yeah, man, this is an Inferno match, man. This is very interesting. Inferno match. So the whole premise of an Inferno match is, in order to win, you have to set your opponent on fire.
Right.
And we know that it's not going to be anything too crazy as far as someone suffering third-degree burns. We're not going to see Randy Orton, doused with gasoline and set on fire. We know it's not going to be nothing crazy like that. So, I mean, what are your expectations out of this? What are you guys' expectations out of this Inferno match? I mean, I know we ain't going to see nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy, I should say.
Yeah, I don't see nothing too crazy either.
Yeah. So this one, I think this one, let's talk about this. USA Network reportedly upset with WWE Raw ratings. So it's been reported that USA is upset. So the first rumor that came out, there was an article that was sent to me by Andrea Joe. He sent me an article speaking about USA being upset about Raw's ratings and that they want more adult content, apparently. Sean Key says, boo, burn that sob alive. WWE's been, apparently, that's the rumor that USA wants more adult content, but there's been like 3 articles that's been published. One saying that USA wants more adult content, another one saying that WWE got the message, but then this is the last article that's been reported. It's been printed. It says early this week, it's been reported that USA was furious with Raw's poor ratings and wanted more adult content, not sexy adult, but dark and violent adult. As we've noted, Monday's TLC Go Home edition of Raw drew an average of 1.527 million viewers, down 12% from last week's 1.737 million viewers. Monday's show drew a new all-time low in total viewership, a new all-time low in viewership for each hour, and a new all-time low in key demographic. Furthermore, last week's AEW Dynamite episode drew a 0.45 rating in key 18 to 49%. I mean, 50, I'm sorry, 18 to 49 demographic, which beat every hour of this week's Raw in that same demo. You can read our full report this week. Raw numbers here. Blah blah blah. On today's Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted the USA Network was not happy with the ratings, but the part about the channel wanting more adult content was not true. Apparently, according from Wrestling Observer Dave Meltzer, he also said that there was an expectation of what the ratings would be for the show, and those aren't currently being met. WWE officials reportedly got the message, and fans could see more reactionary decisions made in the near future. In the past, WWE has looked to start up a big angle or a potential reboot. Upcoming Royal Rumble was previously said to be a place for a big reset for the company.
So me and my boy, we was talking the other day. We know Vince will never ever do this, but listen to this. Oh, I guess he went out. All right. So, okay, back. All right, cool. So, you gave me the main shit. My bad. All right, so check this out. Just imagine Vince joins in on this whole AEW Impact partnership. Somehow they form the 2020 Bullet Club, and I mean AJ, Finn, Kenny, like everybody, and then you have the Bullet Club, because then you'll have your dominant faction, a scary faction on top of that, invading Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Impact. You know what I'm saying? All brands, even NXT. So then on top of that, you'll have your dream matches. You know, matches that you probably would never ever have thought that you'd see. Vince runs that train for a while, and ratings start picking back up, and then you just cut the partnership. Now, the negative behind that is with you doing that, of course, now people are going to start watching AEW more. You're going to have more fans starting to watch Impact. But at the same time, you're going to have your core fans who like your product. They're going to continue to, rock with you regardless. And it's going to boost your rating, even if it's for a summer. You know what I'm saying? It's going to bring something new. Us casual fans who like wrestling, we're going to be like, oh, all right, so let me watch to see what's going on. Let me just, it's going to spark our interest instead of the same boring. Because at this point, what is watching wrestling? For well over 30 years, we know what's going to happen around Survivor Series. We know there's going to be an invasion angle. SmackDown's going to invade Raw. Raw going to invade. You know what I'm saying? So we know what's typically going to happen every year. So we just need something different. And I feel like that definitely would, spark all wrestling fans' interest even if for a little while.
Yeah. I think it will never happen. Comment real quick from Sean Keys. He says, so no opportunity for bra and panties matches.
Yeah, there was a bunch of bra and panties matches I would like to see nowadays, but
Yeah, I think we definitely all would like to see a bra and panties match. Most of the guys would. I think that idea of Vince teaming with another company, I don't think he would do it because Vince McMahon wants to maintain the King of the Mountain on top of his competition, and he was very much shaken up by WCW winning in the ratings in the Monday Night Wars. He was shaken up. It was to the point where he started telling Stone Cold and some of the top superstars, go out there and kind of like, do what you want, do what you feel is going to capture the audience. He kind of gave them free reins. And then for him to give them free rein to turn around and then now take over control of programming and have everything set a certain way, I think that Vince McMahon is not going to be down for the idea of teaming up with another company. Actually, it's Ethan Wick. I thought it was Sean. It's Ethan. Oh, what's up? I'm sorry, Ethan. My bad. It just says Facebook user. It doesn't say your name, unfortunately. It says Facebook user. My bad, Ethan. But thank you for joining us. My bad, Ethan. So I think I don't think Vince would be into it, man. He's the king of the mountain. He's like, yo, we solidified our spot as being the top dogs. He's not trying to share any of that any of this wrestling landscape with anybody as being a top competitor at all. So but it's sad because it's like the product is only going to be pushed to its best potential if they have strong competitors. Vince McMahon is not going to be as creative as he can be, or is going to think outside the box and really look to those ideas that he was looking to back in the day, like how he was, if he doesn't have a strong competitor. But I would say that we definitely owe the fall and the state of WWE to John Cena. Ethan says, at some point, Vince got to step the F away. It's time. Absolutely. We definitely have to
trust, just trust other people. Like, take risks, like, okay, if you want to have full range, okay, cool. I don't like it, but let's just give it a shot and see how it works. If it doesn't, catch or it doesn't, resonate with the fans, pull the plug on it. Right. You know what I'm saying? But take risks. Don't just shut it down without even giving it a shot.
Right. No, absolutely. Yeah, so I definitely totally agree. He needs to take some risks. He needs to move in a different direction. He knows he needs to move in a different direction, but he's, Vince is stuck in it. Vince is I think Vince is trying to compromise. I think we see how the programming has improved a little bit more. But we got a comment because I was going to go into this real quick. He says, I love that TNA and AEW are working together. Sean. Oh, that's Sean. Okay, Sean Keys. Facebook. All right, there we go. Sean Keys. Yeah, I definitely enjoy the fact that AEW and TNA are working together. Thank you, Sean, for joining us. But I definitely it's a good thing that they are, and they need to collaborate so that they can spice things up and bring something new. It's almost like seeing AEW and TNA working together is like seeing J. Cole and Kendrick come together and making an album. Something we want. Seeing two elites, or Drake, J. Cole. If WWE, TNA, and Impact got together and collaborated, that's like Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick coming together to make an album. Like, it's something that we want to see.
Right. I mean, I understand. You've been at the top of the mountain for so long. Like, why not just be like, you know what? Let's just all do this together, have fun. You know what I'm saying? Let's just please the fans at this point. You know what I'm saying? Vince, you've been the top dog for over 30 years. Like, I mean, we're not saying they're gonna put you out of business, but why not work together? Make money. Because hell, I mean, and then listen to some of the ideas. Look at a lot of the ideas Jericho took to AEW, and boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, like, it's just why not? You know what I'm saying? I think it's a great idea. Like I said, I know, like you said, Vince will never do it. Because Vince wants to be the top dog, the head honcho, all that stuff. I completely get it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's done it, But AEW, they right now they're looking at a competition effort. Now, if this partnership with Impact and AEW really flourishes, with their dream matches, people are gonna start watching those products and they're gonna be like, oh, WWE is getting boring. Like, it's not entertaining because so. And it's sad because AEW has been out with just a little over a year, and you got hardcore AEW fans already. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So imagine they doing what they're doing, and then they continue to get their fans, and then Impact fans, go over with them. Then Vince is, like I said, Vince is gonna be in trouble. He has to figure out something.
Right, and we definitely and those two companies combined together, working together, can definitely improve the ratings, boost the ratings for each show. You have changing of viewership, but I'm quite sure, I'm 100% sure that the ratings won't be that significantly great because I'm quite sure the same people that watch Ring of Honor watch Impact and watch AEW.
Right.
And and they most likely 100% of them watch WWE. So I don't think the ratings will be that great, but however, they still Facebook user says facts. Jay, the product over there is fresh and new. NXT is top show over there to me, and that's the thing. It's like, and it's kind of like to get into what was just said, the comment that was just posted. That's the thing. To get into that comment is that the product is fresh, the product is new, but we still need a crossover superstar.
Right.
We still need another Hulk Hogan. We still need another Austin. We need another Rock. We need another. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name only in the proper context in which he should be used. I'm not going to say his name, and I'm speaking of John Cena. But anyway, we need another crossover superstar. We need somebody that's going to bring in people who are not fans or people who have a small interest in wrestling, and their interest needs to be boosted. We had another comment. He better get CM Punk home before AEW does.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about CM Punk. Well, we discussed that in the past about CM Punk, and CM Punk, through this phenomenal request as far as how much he wants to get paid in order to be hired by AEW, just so that they can decline the offer, because Punk doesn't want to wrestle anymore. Punk literally quit. He quit, and he's sticking by his decision, and he feels like his legacy has been cemented, which is sad because, again, if this is all that CM Punk has to offer, then CM Punk never had anything else more than what he gave. That's just a fact.
I honestly disagree to a certain extent, because I feel right now he's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't want to do it. But, every person, when you in professional sports, I should say, always has that itch. Like, Punk watching wrestling, he's watching certain things. He's like, you know what? I can do that. I can still. Oh, that was me. And then he does what is. Now, I guarantee you, if Vince was to say, you know what, I know things ain't work out in the past, but we need you. Make Punk feel wanted and guarantee him this WrestleMania spot that he's so for begging for. You give it to him. And it's like it'll give give WWE once a jolt of energy. You know what I'm saying? And it'll bring some freshness to it, because right now, like, it's getting stale. Like, I mean, outside of the Roman Reigns head of the table storyline, there's no like, what are you watching Raw and SmackDown for? And now what's going to happen is, and it's going to be messed up, is at some point, Impact's on Tuesday, AEW's on Wednesday. At some point, they're going to be like, yo, we're going to go after, all right, we're killing NXT in ratings. Okay, that's easy. Now let's start going for the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? They're going to possibly go to Mondays to battle Raw ratings, or Friday. And once that starts happening, then Vince is really going to have to start, figuring things out. But I do have a quote from Jim Ross.
Yeah.
About the AEW product.
He said what? Say it again? I
have a quote from Jim Ross about the AEW product.
Okay, you shared this with me earlier this week, right? Or did you?
I did.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jim Ross said, I told the kid the other day at AEW that everybody does the same effing spots. All guys go outside, you cluster together like coils, you stand there, huddle friends and foes together side by side, so you can catch some leaping idiot going over the top. Who never wins with this move. We're looking for nothing. They are looking for the holy-ish chant. They love to hear this. This is awesome. It's a spot, folks, and it's a trapeze. Wait, hold on. It's a spot. It's a trapeze act. I don't buy into that. So, and for those who doesn't know what he's talking about, WWE does a lot too. Actually all wrestlers do it, where you have a crowd, a bunch of people fighting outside the ring, and you have that one person. You either go on the top rope or dive over a rope. And for you guys that saw Takeover, when Pat McAfee did the Swanton dive off the cage, things like that. That's what he's saying that everybody in AEW does. So, and he's saying it's getting redundant, and I agree, because everybody at some point does it. So
yes, yeah, because they're now like they're sticking to they're sticking to the essence of, and I think they're sticking to the essence of good matches, and it doesn't mean that, in my opinion, I see what Jim Ross is saying. He's saying you guys are putting on these high flying shows to get these pops and reactions out of the fans, which they should be doing, in my opinion. They should be doing that. But what's missing, and again, I say this before, like what's missing is a Stone Cold. What's missing is a Rock. What's missing is a Ravishing Rick Rude. What's missing is a Mr. Perfect. What's missing is a Coco Beware, a superstar Billy Graham, an Ultimate Warrior, a person with charisma, a Macho Man, a person with charisma that can capture the audience the way that they need to capture them. A person who can give you funny puns, a person who can give you catchphrases. They really underestimated and undervalued catchphrases in wrestling. And I say this, again, to all John Cena fans, this is not a burial of John Cena. This is just about a perspective of sports entertainment, what's needed and what's necessary, and what's been taken away from the art of sports entertainment that has caused a decline in the viewership. And the fact of the matter is that a while back we viewed a clip where John Cena became the WWE champion, and he began, in his words, he began to view all the kids in attendance and the families, and he says we have to change the content. And he went to Vince and says we have to change it right now. These are John Cena's words. I always felt this about him, and I knew that the change in sports, in wrestling, not in wrestling, but in WWE, came because of him. And he said, and it's so funny because he said it. He said that he went to Vince and said that we need to change this. So John Cena stopped rapping. You know what I'm saying? John Cena took away that charismatic personality that was needed by wrestlers. And of course, the defense would be, well, there's always charisma that wrestlers can present in their promos and how they cut them. And it's like, yes, they can, but the catchphrases, the funny lines, some of the adult content was taken away and was stripped away, which added the heavy entertainment value. Granted, you guys have to, you guys have to look back at the Attitude Era. What made the Attitude Era pop was the college fans. If you ever look at the Monday Night Wars documentary, they talked about how a lot of the college fans started to show up, and they started to create the banners and started to make all the signs that started to provoke the rise in the Attitude Era, started to provoke the rise in WCW and NWO. All the college fans started attending, and they started to increase the rise. So then they started to present more adult-like content. And that brought more viewership, more fans, more adult fans. And, the viewership went up. So if we don't have this level of content that's being presented, and you keep trying to give us this hokey, family style, borderline competitive, sort of adult, but not adult content, and it's so ambiguous that's like kiddie, but adult, but not, but it's just like, no, we need to have a clear direction in both. We have a few comments. If you guys are commenting in the comment section, it's saying Facebook users, not saying your name. Just put your name at the bottom so I know who it is, so I can shout your name out. Unfortunately, fans won't let that happen. They're too quick to call somebody or nobody. Also, but wrestling isn't the same as it once was. Got to change with the new fans and times instead of changing the fans to stick with the old. Sean Key.
Absolutely. I hit it right on the head.
A nobody, right? A nobody. There you go. That's what he meant. A nobody. But wrestling isn't the same as it once was. Got to change with the new fans and times instead of changing with the fans to stick with the same with the old. Right? Exactly. So, this is what the time was calling for. The time is calling for something a lot more adult. Like it's again like the wrestling. Everybody's trained to go in there and put on great matches. As we can see, most of the wrestlers that come up from NXT, when they're in NXT, these guys are putting on 4-star and almost 5-star matches. You know what I'm saying? These guys are putting on excellent matches. They come up to the main roster. We see that the quality of the matches change, and then also even the quality of their promos are changing. You know what I mean? And it's like Vince is not looking at that. He's not. I feel like Vince is, but Vince needs to really use NXT as his model. I think so, in my opinion. But we need somebody who's going to resonate with the fans to bring. We need a crossover superstar. And I'm sad to say, but John Cena ruined that. And that's why people have asked the question, like, will there be another John Cena? Will there be another Hulk Hogan? And John Cena ruined that. He ruined that with his politics of this is what it should be. This is what it should look like. And it's like, no, like, because you have now made yourself the end all be all and you ruined what has been stapled. You know what I'm saying? And it was CM Punk who became this hero of that time that came back and changed it. He was shifting it back over to like, no, this is what it needs to be like. And he was that voice, but then he left. So now we don't really have anybody that's really able to do that now. I see Drew McIntyre being trying to be that guy to really fill in that slot and really bring that change, and they feel like they see it in Roman. But we'll have to, we have to wait and see what can be done. But there are superstars on the roster that can bring that crossover change and make it a lot. Quick comment: they wanted Roman to be that Cena Hogan person, right? So and they're working on it right now. They're trying to do it with Roman right now, and they're doing very well. Which brings me into the next article, which I thought was very interesting. Paul Heyman and Michael P.S. Hayes reportedly booking Roman Reigns promos in WWE pay-per-views. I thought this was very interesting article, but I guess it shows that how much mentorship Roman kind of needed, or how much work they need to invest in a person that they see to be a main crossover superstar and what needs to be done. And the article says Paul Heyman is reportedly writing most of the promos we've heard from WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns as of late. Heyman and Reigns have been working on screen together for a few months now, but Heyman is also coming up with much of Reigns promos, according to PW Insider. The news was first reported by Ringside News. WWE Hall of Famer P.S. Hayes has also been very hands-on in Reigns' creative process as of late. It was noted that Hayes has been personally producing Reigns' big pay-per-view matches in recent months. So we see that Vince McMahon is hands off with Roman. That's why his work has been better. So you got Paul Heyman, you got Michael Hayes. I don't know how good Michael Hayes has been with booking backstage. I haven't read too much into his booking resume, as far as what great matches he was able to book and what ideas he was able to sell events to get good booking matches. But we know how great Paul Heyman is altogether. We have another comment. NXT equals wrestling Smackdown / Raw sports entertainment. Yeah. Also, Keith Lee to me has it right now. Sean Keith says Keith Lee has it to be. So Sean, you believe that Keith Lee has it to be the crossover superstar, to be that guy that can bring over fans who are partly interested in wrestling? Jay, how do you feel about Keith being that crossover superstar?
Honestly, my personal opinion, I like Keith. When he first came to NXT, I didn't really resonate with him too much. And I guess I didn't watch a lot of other promotions. So he didn't really jump out at me at first. But, as I started watching his matches and, he started watching his matches and, the things he was doing in the matches, like I said, I think we talked about before, guy size doing hurricanranas and Spanish flies and spin kicks and leapfrogs. It's just like, wow, damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't think he's there as a crossover superstar yet. He could be, but they just have to keep grooming him and keep pushing him. And let's just be frank. Keith Lee isn't one of the kind of guy that Vince would look at, you know what I'm saying, as being that, you know what I'm saying, the guy. We're not even going to have race into it at all. It's more so he doesn't, because Vince likes that chiseled look. Even though Roman physique is, he has worked on, gotten a little bit more ripped than he was when he first came. But Keith Lee doesn't have that look that Vince would want to push. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, Keith has all the tools. I think he needs to, cut a couple more promos, and because his promos are good. And now, before y'all chew me out, Keith Lee's promos are good, but he doesn't talk on the mic as much. And for me personally, I feel like when I listen to Keith Lee on his promos, he sounds more robotic and like scripted, kind of. It doesn't sound fluent.
So Sean says, as long as, now this is what he feels about Keith Lee, as long as they don't bring him heel, I feel he is, and also Bray Wyatt heel or face. So he feels that Keith Lee can be that crossover superstar, and he feels Bray Wyatt heel or face. This is the thing about Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is an attraction. I think that he's an attraction, a part of the show. I believe that Bray Wyatt has charisma. I don't doubt it. But Bray Wyatt is an attraction to the show. My opinion, this is my opinion. I think that Bray Wyatt is a person who contributes, but I don't think he's crossover, in my opinion. I don't think he's I think he's an attraction, but I don't think he's crossover. There's a certain type of charisma. Like when you look at all of the predecessors, like of John Cena, the predecessors like Hogan, like Punk, and all those other guys. The thing about those predecessors is that they had this masculine alpha male kind of charisma that brought people over. It was like this person has an alpha male personality with a lot of charisma. That's what brought it over. Like the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, he has a lot of charisma, but he doesn't say, like, his charisma doesn't say alpha male. Like he doesn't have like an alpha male charisma, like, feel. Like Roman Reigns has like a alpha male, feel, but he doesn't have charisma. It's like they're looking for the total package. They're looking for alpha male and they're looking for charisma, at the same time. Sounds like a school teacher to me. Ew. School teacher. What was that? What'd you say, Jay?
Ethan Wick, EW.
Oh. He said what? Say it again? I didn't hear you.
Ethan Wick, the EW at the end.
Oh, Ethan Wick. Oh, okay. Yeah, Ethan Wick. Yeah, so I think like it's like, you gotta have like the total package. Like they're trying to build it with Roman, right? So it's like Roman has the look, he has the alpha male look because he has the look, he has the physique, he has this pretty boy thing going on where, most alpha male kind of archetypes, are guys who are attractive and women love them. And then it's like, okay, but Roman Reigns is a laid back dude. He's really like a cool laid back dude. So he's not a man of much words. He's a man of action. But they need charisma. They need something. They need him to say things that's going to pop and resonate with people. So now they put him with Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman knows how to say things that resonate and pop with people. So now they're formulating, the alpha male that they want, and they're doing that with Paul Heyman and with Michael Hayes. You got to have that package. Like Keith Lee does not. Keith Lee has the alpha. Like most wrestlers have like the alpha male look, but it's that charisma, that the things that they say that are funny, the things that they say that make you want to repeat it again, that really pulls you in. Sean, he says, but remember, news fans of wrestling will like Bray and his character. They don't go with the old school fans. New fans love Bray, but WWE is still in the Stone Age. Well, I'll give Bray a shot to see what happens. A lot of new fans, they do, but think about who really likes him, right? and think about like our fan base as far as wrestling. Most of the fan base of wrestling are people who like anime, people who love movies, people who love video games, people who like a lot of artistic things that really deal with art and creativity. Um, but you have other fans, people who are into like real sports, people who are into drama and soap opera. Like you have those type of fans that need to be pulled in, and those type of fans don't really gravitate too much to art. They don't gravitate. So part of sports entertainment deals a lot with art. It deals with the catchphrases, and the catchphrases you say that gets printed on a nice shirt. And then also it deals with, the ring attire, how the character is presented. And then all that's packaged up into being presented to fans to give you this level of charisma or personality that has to now sell. So, and that's real artistic. That's all artistic. That's all entertainment. That's all showmanship. It's all performance. And it's like, it has to be captivating. So Bray Wyatt gives you that, but it's his awkwardness that really caters to a lot of the core fan base, not the fan base that really has a lack of interest in arts and entertainment. People who are more interested in more real life drama. Like Austin was very realistic to relate to because he was a working blue collar man who was fighting against his boss, and he went into the ring doing whatever he wanted, right? John Cena was relatable because he related to the young crowd who listened to hip hop music and was rebellious, right? Hulk Hogan was relatable at his time because he was an American hero. He was a person who embodied or represented, the American man or the American blue collar man who's trying to, like a Captain America like figure. He was like, Hulk Hogan was like a superhero. So, so these people have a niche about them. What does Roman Reigns represent? Like, what does Bray Wyatt represent? Bray Wyatt represents, he has a character that represents or targets people who are into anime and video games and, artsy things, and people who are probably emo or gothic. Like that's the audience he targets. He really kind of pulls in. Even though the new age era is kind of around that, a lot of people who relate to real life things such as blue collar, the American dream, and being an American hero, or they don't really relate to that with Bray. Triple H creates a team for new WWE NXT show. So Jay, you sent me this article. Do you still have it, or you want me to read it?
No, you can read it. I know I have it, but
okay, all right, cool. Okay, so Triple H, Paul Triple H Levesque has created a team to oversee a new NXT show, which apparently would be an NXT minor league system. Interesting. Gabe Sapolsky is leading the team. Levesque has given him several agents and writers to help him get more comfortable with writing television. Levesque is a big believer in Sapolsky, and this is said to be a case of Levesque giving him the ball. The idea is to create a show that was described to me as a NXT for NXT. Okay. The biggest challenge has been to format the concept for TV. The original idea was for this to be akin to another promotion running in some of the smaller tier markets that NXT serviced. However, with house shows likely to not return, they are making it just a TV series. The goal was for the show to launch in early 2021, but it has been delayed before and probably will again. Interesting. So there's a developmental for developmental. When they already have a developmental. So, okay, so there's an NXT for NXT, then the main roster. That's very interesting. It almost feels like they're trying to separate themselves into a private entity of versus a a private entity. You know, like it's like yes, NXT is a part of Raw and SmackDown, but however, now it's like they have another show. This is going to be interesting to see how it develops. Very interesting. Very interesting. Moving forward, Matt Riddle versus the United States champion Bobby Lashley, possible for the Royal Rumble. That's interesting. I don't really see. So this is good for Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle has been put in a title picture, which I've been wanting and begging for a very long time. I feel like Matt Riddle is definitely ready to carry a title. He has the charisma. He has the personality. Matt Riddle has a lot of potential. They can do a lot with Matt Riddle. Let's see where this goes. We have another comment. Ethan Wick. I hate that word developmental when it refers to NXT. I mean, I hate it too. But NXT is not on the same level as the World Championship. It's not on the same level as the Universal. We can put it there because of all the greatness that it has been attached to, and the great legacy. I think it will build up to that status, but I think the status will be considered. The NXT title or the status of the NXT title in this developmental will be considered great if it separates itself from Raw and SmackDown, or every legitimate world heavyweight title winner from NXT actually gets treated like that when they go to the main roster. But that's how they treat it, though. That's how it's being treated. So we have this real quick. Views from the Turnbuckle, the 10 best matches of 2020. So 10 best matches of 2020. Views from the Turnbuckle gives their top 10 matches of 2020, the 10 best matches. These are the 10 matches. Jay, let me know if you've seen any of these matches. I'm assuming you only seen one, but maybe you've seen it. All of them. Royal Rumble match at WWE Royal Rumble 2020. Villanova III Jr. versus Ariel at AAA Lucha Fighter. Kento Miyahara versus Jake Lee at AJPW New Year's Wars 2020. Night 2. Walter versus Ilja Dragunov at
Ilya Dragunov.
You say? Dragunov. Kazuchika Okada versus Tatsuya Naito at New Japan Pro Wrestling Kingdom 14, Night 2. Number 5, Go Shiozaki versus Takashi Segura at Noah, the Best Final Chronicle. Number 4, Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi. I'm butchering these names. At New Japan Pro Wrestling G1 Climax, you know who he is. 3rd, Will Ospreay versus Hiromu Takahashi at New Japan Pro Wrestling Kingdom 14, Night 1. Number 2, Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks at AEW Resolution. And number 1, Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada at New Japan Pro Wrestling Kingdom 14. So these were their top 10 matches, their 10 best matches of 2020. Very interesting. I've noticed that a lot of the publishers in wrestling really love Kazuchika Okada. I seen like a video on YouTube a while back that talked about how Kazuchika Okada went to Impact Wrestling, how he was poorly treated, which was crazy, especially the legacy he's built in New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is crazy. It's very interesting. We got a comment. Number one was Kenny Omega and Hangman Page for me. Is this Ethan or Sean? I'm sorry, I can't. Go ahead, Jay.
Have that fatal 4-way match on NXT for the number one contendership. How do you not, even the match with Adam Cole and Keith Lee was good too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of straight NXT matches that I can think of that could have qualified for match of the year. Now, granted, Walter, if you have not seen Walter has great matches with when he has the big guy versus small guy matches, because he had a great match with the guy from Mustache Mountain. I can't think of his name. The first ever UK champion. He had a great match with him. He had
Tyler Bate?
Yeah, Tyler Bate, yes. He had a great match with Tyler Bate. He had a great match with Pete Dunne when he eventually took the belt from Pete Dunne. So yeah, like I said, Walter has great matches, So I mean, and obviously, when you put when you put the 10 best matches, it's always gonna be debatable. It's always gonna be, somebody's point of view. So I mean, hell, I have a guy at my job. He thinks that the Kenny Omega versus John Moxley match is match of the year. So
yeah. That was Ethan Wick. Ethan Wick said number one for him was Kenny Omega versus Hangman Page. I seen that match. That match was actually pretty good. Walter versus Drago. Walter's recent title defense was crazy. All right, so I gotta watch that match.
I need to watch it, but I really lost track of it. But I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna actually watch the match. I'm sure it was a fire match.
Yeah, I gotta watch it. I gotta check it out. NXT, of course, but you're right. NXT has been putting on awesome matches, and they should have been named up there. I noticed that a lot of times that like Dave Meltzer and some other like wrestling publications, they really value and esteem New Japan Pro Wrestling as far as their quality of matches. They really hold them very high.
I was about to say that too. Like I doubt, what I'm saying, that New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, I don't watch it, so I can't. I'm not bad mouthing them or shooting shade at them. But you're trying to tell me that I don't really remember the list on top of my head. But you're trying to tell me that New Japan Pro Wrestling matches took up 2/3 of that list. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where you got I think WWE maybe had 2 matches. The Walter match, I think the match you said that happened at Royal Rumble. But other than that, 2 matches out of matches of the year. Come on, girl.
Yeah, no, absolutely right. And we talked about this before. Like NXT is like one of the, if they're very, very, very competitive as far as the quality of matches and pay-per-views. Like freaking War Games was a movie. That was a movie. That was one of the best. That was probably, if not the best pay-per-view of the year, in my opinion. Like so far, I've not seen a pay-per-view this year that I've liked in that quality where I said I want to go back and watch it again. Like that the quality was very, very high. It had great storytelling in it, as far as how it was done very well. So I mean, I don't understand. Like, yeah, they really esteem those matches. We have another comment. New Japan Pro Wrestling should be. They put on great shows. They have a lot of top 10 matches. I've seen like there's been like a lot of talk about Okada versus Omega at the time when Kenny was in New Japan Pro, and Dave Meltzer gave their rivalry like a 5-star rivalry. He gave them 5 stars. Said their matches were like 5-star. I seen a match. It was good. I think the match, and the thing about it is I think one thing again is like, in order to really appreciate the value of a match, you have to know the story behind the match. So if we don't know the story behind these matches and we just pop in and watch the matches, it's just like, it's like we're just watching you're watching a good match, but the match becomes great or even better if we know the story behind it. We know the emotion. We know, the whole fight to get, the fight or the drama it took to really get to that place to culminate to that one match and why that match means so much. So it's really the story behind the match. You know what I'm saying? Not just the in-ring performance, but also the story behind the match.
And I give you a prime example. So for those that did, let's just say you used to watch, when they had the match before Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. You watch the match, like, okay, they're fighting. Why is Gargano so angry? Like, why is he really trying to kill this guy? So if, as a casual fan, you just watch it, he's like, oh, like, why? What the hell? Like, he's really going in. But if you've been watching the build for the story and watching, like you said, what's behind it, you'll see all the animosity and the anger and the hatred that's been built up for about a year, and which led up to, like, I'm finally getting my hands on you. I'm about to, I'm about to beat the brakes off. You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, the story definitely has a lot to it. And I give you another one when Triple H and Randy Orton fought. When Randy Orton was, RKOing and DDTing Triple H's whole family. He, handcuffed them, DDT. I mean, he caught Stephanie RKO and kissed her while she was down. Like stuff like that. With us not knowing that, and we just seeing them fight, you're like, yo, Triple H is angry. Like, why is he so angry? But looking at the story, you'll see the reason and the motivation behind it. So you're definitely right.
Right. So that's what we've been talking about in our previous episodes, and that's what a lot of you guys have been talking about. We all been talking about is about the story is the lack of story that has gone into major pay-per-views like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, and how they were just slapping matches together and then just having matches and expecting fans to just watch just out of the sake of the name of a superstar. And it's like, why are we watching this? It's like, we're watching this because we're just watching Kevin Owens fight, Shinsuke. Why they're just fighting? So they're just fighting, and then they're beating each other up like they have an axe to grind with each other. But in fact, this is the first time they fought, or this is their third match, and there was no drama behind the match. So, but yeah, so that's how these matches actually become so great, is the story behind them. We have another comment. Jordan versus Diana at Slammiversary was one of the best technical matches I've ever seen. Top 5 from me, Ethan Wick. Excellent. So yeah, so like so Ethan's been into Impact, but Ethan's very much into all forms of wrestling. So Ethan, through watching these shows and seeing the story and the build and the characters and the development, like why that match would mean so much to you, because you've seen the development of the story and how it panned out to that moment to where they put on this match. And it's like now, all the emotions that all the time and attention you've invested into that match, you see it spilled out and you see it now pay off in this match. And now it means so much more. We got to move forward because we are limited on time. So I know you guys have seen Smackdown, you guys have seen Raw, you guys have seen NXT. We're just going to talk real quick before we get into the match card predictions before we sign off. NXT, as far as NXT is concerned, so you guys seen Raw. Raw is like a haze to me. I don't remember too much about Raw, but Raw was, they're going into their build for TLC. Jay, you want to talk about Raw a little bit, or?
Raw was okay. Nothing. I guess Asuka has to find a new partner for the tag match. Apparently, I guess they took out Lana. Girls came back, so we don't know who's going to take that spot. Hopefully, it's not Dana Brooke. But I guess we'll see who Asuka, who joins Asuka to be, to fight the women's champ. And it could be Kairi Sane. Maybe they signed Kairi Sane from behind the scenes. Who knows? But other than that, nothing else really stood out to me. Like the Fiend and Randy fighting all in a Firefly Fun House theatrical event. And yeah, nothing else really stood out to me, honestly.
All right. The Hurt Business, of course, is fighting the New Day for their tag titles. They've been running this rivalry for the for this whole month. So now it's culminating to this TLC match this Sunday. NXT, NXT. So I was hoping for what's his name, Pete Dunne, to go against Finn Balor, but we got another match. We have a rematch for the NXT title. Kyle O'Reilly will be facing Finn Balor at New Year's Evil. So we have another match with Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor. It would be nice if Lana kept that survival attitude and came back. Ethan Wick says, "Yeah." So yes, real quick, Raw. So Lana beats Nia Jax. She finally beat Nia Jax. And then Miro made a funny post on social media. He said, when the pin that Lana caught Nia Jackson or wrapped her up in, he said, we've been practicing this move at home. Congratulations. So, I just thought it was funny. I don't think I'm saying it right, but you have to see the picture and then the quote. But I would prefer it was Kyrie, Ethan Wick. So he prefers Kyrie to be the partner of. I mean, we all because they work well together. So that'll be dope to have them come together.
Yeah, Botchamania, Nia, and Kyrie gonna Nia
Right. Good. Kyrie was like, "You put me in retirement. It's because of you I retired." So Pete Dunne. So Pete Dunne was knocked out of the #1 contender spot. He will. Kyle O'Reilly will be facing Finn Balor. We got a match from Karrion Kross, who has returned, who is now saying that the time is running low on whoever is NXT champion or will be NXT champion after New Year's Evil. I'm contesting that Finn Balor keeps his title and continue his reign in NXT. We want to see more. He was injured by Kyle O'Reilly at I forgot what pay-per-view it was. I think was it Takeover? It was Takeover, right? It was Takeover. Right? No, it wasn't Takeover. It was Takeover, right? It was Takeover, right? He was injured by Kyle O'Reilly, got his jaw broke. I'm contesting that he keeps his title. Hopefully we don't have another injury like that happen to Finn again. We know what happened. Finn had had that issue, but he's going to get past it. So Toni Storm beats Rhea Ripley. I believe it was for the #1 contender spot for a title shot at Io Shirai at New Year's Evil. I believe that's what it was for. I could be wrong. SmackDown. So Kevin Owens got the stew beat out of him by Roman and Jay. It was a tables and ladders and chair party on Kevin Owens. So they piled tables and chairs and they just beat the crap out of him pretty much most of the show. SmackDown's build for TLC was pretty decent. Wasn't the best. Most of it was really focused on Kevin, Jay, and Roman. So SmackDown was all right as far as Carmella and Carmella and Sasha Banks continue, their fighting rivalry, which is pretty decent. One of the major star of the night of SmackDown was definitely Bianca Belair, who put on an awesome athletic performance against Bayley, which I thought was pretty dope. So we're gonna wrap it real quick. So before we end TLC match card, any predictions, Jay? Let me read the matches to you. If you have any predictions, let me know. If you guys have any predictions, I want to know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think any major titles are going to change hands? Or do you have any great expectations for TLC? And also concerning the recent rumor about USA being disappointed in WWE's ratings on USA, do you think that WWE is going to pull out all the stops for TLC to make it a major pay-per-view. I want to hear comments, and I want to see you. I'll read your comments in the comment section below. This is the match card for TLC. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Carmella versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Raw Women's Champion. This is for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka and her partner to be named versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. The Raw Tag Team Championships are on the line. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin versus Kofi and Alexander. And of course, the Firefly Inferno match, Bray versus Randy Orton. Any predictions or any expectations?
I don't see nothing, no surprises, honestly. Like, I feel like it's gonna be a regular, decent pay-per-view. Like, I mean, it wasn't a real build to it, so I don't see nothing too crazy.
We have a comment. Bailey and her funny promos.
Yeah.
Ding dong. Hello. So Bailey. So I don't know, man. I just want to see how it's going to come out. Will they be able to compare or even compete with what NXT was able to do with War Games? So this is TLC. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they pull out. Hopefully they do something great. We have one more comment. If Flair is Asuka's partner, they're not winning. Flair will blame Asuka and challenger for the title with Ethan Wick. I don't think Flair showed up, but if Flair does, that would be hilarious. That would be very, very funny. Very funny. All right, guys. So we got to go. Our time is limited. We'll be back on live Tuesday. We have a special guest joining us, Andrea Joe. We will be talking wrestling. Of course, we will be talking about TLC and Monday Night Raw and wrestling news and rumors. We thank you guys for joining us. We definitely will be here Tuesday. One more comment. I hope not. He hopes we definitely hope Flair does not show up as a partner. But WWE sometimes pulls some wacky stunts. But we thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Wrestling Talks and Thoughts. We hope to see you guys Tuesday. If you guys are catching this video, please drop a comment in the comment section below. Like our page, follow us in our group, like our group. Also subscribe to us on YouTube. Drop a comment in the comment section below. We want to know what you guys think. We want to know how you guys feel about what's going on with WWE's ratings, what's happening as far as how they're going to shake up things and make things a little bit more entertaining for us. But we will see you guys next time. I am your host, Saheem the Dream. And
Your boy,
we will see you guys later. Peace.